The ancient world is dying slowly under a merciless sun. The earth is parched, no water remains, and the once lush valleys are now dust. In this post-glacial wasteland, survival is a daily battle. Every breath is heavy with silt, and every shadow offers no relief from the scorching heat. Life is retreating into the cracks of the ground. The great rivers have vanished, leaving behind only the echoes of a time when the world flourished. High above, the sky begins to change. Dark clouds, heavy with more than just rain, gather at the edge of the world, whispering of coming doom. A small tribe of early humans wanders through this graveyard. They are the last of their kind in this region, driven by a primal hunger. Their feet are torn and bleeding, yet they cannot stop. To stand still is to die. Every mile is a testament to their incredible will to live. Their faces tell a story of endless suffering. There is no more meat to hunt, no fruit to gather, only the bitter taste of dry survival. A mother clutches her child, a silent promise of protection in a world that has forgotten mercy. Her strength is the only shield the child has. They search the ancient riverbeds, but the water has been gone for generations. The lifeblood of the land has been sucked dry by the eternal sun. Zar leads them. He is the guardian of their fireless nights, a man whose instincts have been sharpened by the cruelty of the dying savannah lands. He climbs to the highest point, seeking a sign. The world below is a map of desolation, but Zar refuses to accept that this is the end. Something is happening in the distance. The horizon is no longer just dust, it is thick with the scent of sulfur and the weight of thunder. He speaks in a low, guttural tongue. "The sun kills us," he whispers to the sky. He senses that the old gods are finally waking up. Below him, the tribe waits. They are a collective soul, bound by blood and the shared terror of the unknown. They look to him for direction. The sun is swallowed not by the night, but by a rising shroud of ash. The very air begins to burn the back of their dry throats. The world is brittle. Everything they touch turns to powder. Nature has withdrawn its gifts, leaving only the bones of a once vibrant world behind. Listen to the wind. It carries the screams of the dying earth. It is a warning that the time of hiding in the shadows is over. The sky is angry now. Blue light dances in the dark clouds, a phenomenon they have never seen. A change is coming, violent and total. They move forward into the gloom. The old world is dead, and the new world is about to be born in fire and blood and thunder. The earth begins to tremble. A deep, low-frequency hum vibrates through the soles of their feet, coming from deep within the belly of the world. Terror strikes their hearts. They have felt the earth move before, but never like this. This is the pulse of a giant waking from sleep. The first great shock throws them to the ground. The stability they once knew is gone. The very foundation of their existence is being torn apart. Then the mountain screams. A pillar of black fire and smoke erupts into the heavens, blotting out the stars and claiming the sky for itself. Zar watches in awe and horror. He sees the light of 1,000 suns condensed into one mountain. The red flower is blooming in the sky. Gray snow begins to fall. It is warm and smells of death. The air becomes thick and heavy, making every breath a struggle for the survivors. The earth bleeds fire. Liquid stone, glowing with a terrifying beauty, pours down the mountain, erasing everything in its path with a hiss of heat. Nothing can stop it. The fire consumes the dry earth with an insatiable hunger, turning the landscape into a hellish vision of light and heat. The beasts are the first to run. Their instincts tell them what the humans are only beginning to realize. The mountain is no longer a home. "Run!" Zar's voice cuts through the thunder. There's no time for fear, only the desperate need to put distance between them and the fire. The sky is falling. Great stones of fire rain down from the heavens, smashing into the earth like the fists of an angry celestial giant. The heat is unbearable. It sears their lungs and blisters their skin. The world has become a furnace, and they are caught in its center. They help one another, bound by a desperation that transcends language. In the face of extinction, their humanity is their only weapon against the fire. The fire is cunning. It moves like a predator, encircling them with walls of molten stone. The path to safety is narrowing with every passing second. Czar searches for a way out. He sees the world he knew dissolving into a sea of red. The mountain is clearing the slate for something new. The sound is absolute. It is the voice of the earth itself, a roar that shakes their very bones and demands their total submission to nature. They cling to their small comforts, their tiny pieces of a world that is fast disappearing. Faith is all they have left in the fire. They walk the thin line between life and death. One misstep means being lost to the fire that is consuming their past and their future. The gods are fighting in the sky. Lightning and lava meet in a clash of primal forces, and the humans are but ants in their path. They find a temporary sanctuary in the stone. The cave is cold and dark, a stark contrast to the burning world they just left behind. From the darkness, they watch the end of their world. The valley is gone, buried under a layer of liquid stone and suffocating gray ash. The fire has won. But as the heat begins to fade, a new and much more subtle enemy begins to creep into their stone refuge. The sun is gone, hidden behind a thick veil of volcanic winter. A deep, unnatural night falls over the world, bringing a different kind of terror. They must move. The cave is no longer safe as the air turns thin. They step out into a landscape that looks like the surface of the moon. Every step is a struggle against the earth itself. The mud is a trap, pulling at their weary limbs and draining their remaining precious strength. They cross a river of ink. The water that once brought life now brings only the taste of ash and the promise of a slow, cold death. The heat of the volcano is gone, replaced by a biting chill. The ash cloud has blocked the sun, plunging the world into a sudden, deep freeze. The cold is a silent thief. It steals the heat from their bodies and the hope from their hearts. They escape the fire to face ice. Fatigue becomes their greatest enemy. To sleep is to never wake up. Czar knows he must keep them moving, or they will all perish here. The world is becoming a tomb. Around them, the animals that survived the fire are succumbing to the cold, their bodies preserved in the ash. The fire that once threatened to burn them is now the only thing he craves. He looks at the distant glow with a newfound longing. A child's whimper is the only sound in the dark. The mother's warmth is fading, her own body failing in the relentless, icy grip of the night. They reach the great forest. But it is no longer a place of shelter. It is a labyrinth of shadows and freezing, damp mist that chokes. Predators watch from the dark. They smell the weakness of the tribe, waiting for the moment when the cold finally brings the humans to their knees. Every shadow hides a threat. Czar's senses are pushed to the limit as he tries to navigate through a world that has become entirely alien. Silence is a weight. The only sound is the cracking of the ice and the rhythmic, desperate chattering of teeth in the deep, dark woods. They can go no further. They gather their bodies together, trying to preserve the last sparks of life in a world that has turned to ice. He feels the end coming. "Cold kills more than the red flower ever could," he whispers. "The fire was a monster, but the cold is a void." Then he sees it. A small, flickering light in the distance, a remnant of the mountain's fury, still burning despite the cold and the ash. To his people, it is a warning. To Czar, it is a possibility. He watches the way the light pushes back the encroaching shadows of the night. He knows what he must do. Between the certainty of freezing and the danger of the flame, there is only one choice for a leader. He walks alone into the heart of the darkness. He is heading toward the very thing they have spent their lives running away from in fear. The heat begins to touch his face again. It is a strange sensation, both welcoming and terrifying. He is approaching the power of the mountain itself. He stands before the miracle. The fire is alive, a living thing that breathes and eats and provides a warmth that feels like a forgotten dream. In this small, dancing light, the future of humanity is born. Czar stares into the heart of the flame, seeing a power he never imagined possible. The terror that has defined his species for eons begins to melt away. He sees not just destruction, but a light that can pierce the dark. His hand trembles. This is the ultimate taboo, the forbidden touch. But the warmth is too seductive, too necessary to turn away from in this cold. He is no longer just a prey animal running from a predator. He is an observer, a thinker, beginning to understand the nature of the beast. He sees how it eats. It needs the wood, the dry things of the earth. It is a hunger that can be fed, a power that can be controlled. A plan begins to form in his mind. If the fire can live on this tree, perhaps it can live on another. Perhaps he can carry it. This is the moment of awakening, the bridge between the wild and the civilized. He is reaching out to capture the essence of the sun itself. It takes hold. A tiny flickering light now belongs to him. Zar holds his breath, terrified that a single gust of wind might steal it away. He has done it. He carries the fire. The darkness that once felt infinite and suffocating now retreats before his steady, outstretched hand and burning branch. In this moment, Zar is more than a man. He is the bringer of light, the one who has mastered the greatest enemy of his ancestors. He guards the flame like it is his own child. It is the most precious thing in the world, a fragile spark that holds their entire future. The tribe watches in terror. They see the red flower approaching, carried by a shadow. They prepare to flee, their instincts screaming at them to run. "Fire!" they cry out in their primitive tongue. To them, it is the mountain coming to finish what it started, a hungry ghost in the dark. "No run!" Zar's voice is firm and calm. He stands his ground, a beacon of stability in a world that has been nothing but chaos and pain. The heat reaches her first. It is a sensation she hasn't felt since the sun was swallowed by the ash. It is the feeling of life returning. He shows them. He feeds the fire with the gifts of the earth. He treats it not as a monster, but as a guest in their home. The fire grows. It is no longer a threat. It is a hearth. It is the center of a new kind of world, a place of safety. One by one, they overcome their primal fear. The need for warmth is stronger than the memory of the eruption. They gather around the new sun. The child is the first to smile. In the light of the fire, the shadows of the forest are no longer monsters, but just trees in the night. He has saved them, not with a spear or with strength, but with a thought. With the realization that the world can be changed by man. The cave is transformed. It is no longer a cold tomb, but a sanctuary. The fire has made them masters of the darkness for the first time. They will not die tonight. The cold is kept at bay, and the predators of the dark keep their distance, wary of the new bright power. The first night of the new era begins, a night where man and fire become partners in a dance of survival that will span the ages. Morning comes, but the world is still gray. Yet, inside the circle of the tribe, the light is still burning, a defiance against the dying sun. Knowledge is passed on. This is the first lesson of the new world. The fire must be tended, it must be respected, it must be kept. A new discovery awaits. The fire does more than warm the skin, it changes everything it touches. The scent of cooking meat fills the cave. This is a revolution in biology. Cooked food will fuel their brains and change their bodies, setting them on a path toward a new destiny. They eat like kings in a wasteland. The fire has given them back their strength, and with it, the will to continue their great migration south. They are ready to face the world again. The ash and the cold are still there, but they are no longer defenseless against the harsh elements. They will not leave the light behind. They will carry it with them, a piece of the sun in their hands to light the dark path. They march, not as refugees, but as conquerors. They carry the very power that once sought to destroy them, now tamed and serving their will. Wherever they go, the fire follows. It creates a small, moving climate of warmth around them, a bubble of life in a world of icy death. The red flower is now their servant. It protects them from the cold, it cooks their food, and it keeps the predators of the night away. The balance of power has shifted. For the first time in history, the great cats are afraid of the humans. The light is a weapon of peace. They are reaching the edge of the disaster zone. The world is beginning to heal, and they are here to witness its rebirth and its future. The sun returns. But they no longer depend solely on its mercy. They have learned to create their own sun, to master their own fate. He is the first of a new kind of human, a man of fire, a man who looks at the obstacles of nature and finds a way. The first songs are born around the fire. They tell the story of the mountain, the cold, and the man who brought the red flower down. The fire is the heart of the tribe. It is where they gather, where they plan, and where they dream of a world that is theirs. The legacy is secured. The fire will never go out. It will be passed from hand to hand through the long, dark corridors of human history. They march toward the horizon. They are the masters of the fire, the hunters of the sun, the ancestors of everyone who has ever lived since. In every fire we light today, there is a memory of that first flame, a memory of the day we stopped running and started to lead. The Great Migration is over. They have found the land of plenty, guided by the light of the volcano and the courage of their leader, Czar. From the ashes of the old world, the seeds of the new are planted. Life returns with a vigor that was impossible in the dry past. Fear has been replaced by play. The fire is a toy, a tool, a friend. The world is no longer a place to hide from, but explore. He watches the fruits of his awakening, a tribe that is strong, healthy, and growing. A tribe that will one day build cities and civilizations. The night is no longer dark. Humanity has reclaimed the world, one fire at a time. The era of the fire has truly begun for us. The fire gives them time. Time to think, time to create, time to tell stories. The first history of our kind is written in the soot. We are the species that carries the light. This is our identity. This is the mark we leave upon the world that tried to kill us. Community is forged in the heat of the hearth. We are no longer lonely wanderers. We are a family, bound by the light of the fire. One day, we will reach those lights. One day, the fire we carried from the volcano will take us to the very edges of the universe. The journey of awakening is a journey without end. From the first spark to the stars, we are driven by the flame of our curiosity. The mountain has fallen silent. Its work is done. It gave us the fire, and in return, we gave the world a new kind of life. Even in the ash, there is potential. Even in the end, there is a beginning. Every fire starts with a single, small, and very brave spark. They walk into the future. A future where the darkness is no longer something to be feared, but a canvas for the light of our minds. The world is changing. A new light has been lit on the surface of the earth. A light that will never be extinguished by the night. That day, humanity did not just survive a disaster. They claimed the power of the gods. Our long journey to the stars truly begins here.